What's up, everybody? It's your boy Digi the Chef. This is officially part 2 of our solo battle series. If you guys did not check out part 1, we'll talk about the first half and we'll hit on all of your offensive plays. This is going to focus on how to run mid blitz effectively and how to run field goal block effectively and when to use your timeouts in the second half. So if you're struggling on offense, I highly suggest that you check out the first video and a little bit of this video as well. And if you're looking for that contest that we're running, make sure you check out the first video. Now in the second half, I'm going right back to our bread and butter. I'm running that 4 verticals with the slant from A, and I'm just gonna run this all the way down the field because I'm trying to pick up my first downs, which is the key. Again, we're trying to get 10 first downs in this quarter. You'll see me just hitting my tight end and my receiver coming across the field as fast as possible, allowing them to get the yards and get down as fast as possible so we do not get any fumbles. Now if I'm behind the mark, then I'm really not trying to get only first downs, but I'm trying to get first downs and yards. So you'll see I'm not immediately falling when I get the ball because I am trying to pick up a few extra yards. So your second goal here with passing is you want to at least, in my books, get 4 passing touchdowns with 450 yards. I found that that's been the sweet spot for me, is 4 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns are normally what I try to get with, as many 2-point conversions as possible. That's why you see me pick up the first down here and then slide so I can go ahead and get that try to get that passing touchdown. And if I don't get it, then I'll just run it in with Lamar Jackson. Also, you'll see me taking that time out there in the third quarter because remember, we can run the clock out as much as possible in the fourth. So go ahead and manage that clock. I am behind the clock here because I'm taking a little bit too long to score, but still I'm giving myself a decent time with 1 minute and 3 seconds left to get another snap. Now let's actually go over the defense next and how you run the field goal block defense to get interceptions. So the field goal block defense can be very hard to do if you have not practiced. So the first thing I'm going to tell you guys to do is to actually practice this before you get into solo battles. Solo battles is not the place you want to run field goal block for the first time. Go into some type of challenge where you can put it on competitive and run this field goal block until you figure it out. I'll tell you what I like to do. So this corner here is my fastest corner. So this is Dion for me. This corner here is my second best coverage corner. So this for me would be Champ Bailey. This corner here is going to be my third favorite man corner. And then I'm going to substitute this guy here to be a linebacker. I believe he starts off as an end or a D tackle. And then I'm going to move one of that end or D tackle here somewhere over here. So normally this is Michael Strahan. I don't want Michael Strahan in coverage, so I move him to Greeny, and I move Michael Strahan somewhere out here. And then I make this guy my fastest and best man coverage linebacker. Normally it's Bobby Wagner or Patrick Willis because Patrick Willis is very fast and he'll be going up against a receiver. So those are my defensive adjustments inside of field goal block. And I normally run base block, right? It doesn't matter which one I think you run, but this one has normally worked the best for me for some reason. And the gist of how you run this is all about timing. You want your corners to be slightly behind the receivers once the play is snapped. So for me, I normally say about a 2.5 second count or a 3 second count if you're lucky is best. If you are too fast, then what's going to happen is the quarterback is going to do what you just saw and he's going to throw it to the running back and it's never going to be covered. So if we look at this one here, I actually tried to time this, and I believe that if you wait until the second guy crosses that center, that's almost a perfect time. So this one, we don't get a guy that crosses the center. So I did it a little bit earlier because everyone is pretty much set. So you see all these receivers are set and this quarterback is going to drop back. By the time this quarterback gets ready to drop back, that's when I go ahead and audible, and you'll see that my guys are still running, which is the key. As long as your guys are still running towards a receiver, the computer thinks the receiver is uncovered and he's going to throw it. If your guys are set because you've done it too early, you're going to have a really tough time with the field goal block defense. So let's look at what I mean by when I say the second guy passes the center. So you'll see the offense came out in this kind of 2 tight end, 2 receiver, 1 running back formation. And as soon as they saw me in field goal block, they automatically changed to a 4 verts play. Now this guy right here, I can tell he's going across because the computer normally audibles into 2 formations. It's either a 3 receivers on one side or 2 receivers on one side, and you'll have everyone running verts, and the running back is either going to go out or the running back is going to stay in and block depending on the formation. Now I see that this guy is coming across the field, so I am going to audible as soon as he hits this center, which has normally been my timing. So you'll see me wait, boom. These 2 guys are switching sides. So this is what I meant by second guy crossing the center. So he's the first and he's the second. You'll see that I make my audible right here as soon as he gets crossed that center. And that is normally about the timing that I use for the field goal block defense. You'll see that Deion Sanders was slightly behind and he gets the pick because the computer thinks that he's open. It's all about timing with the field goal block defense. If you get it wrong, you're going to get smoked, or you're going to get beat underneath, or the quarterback is going to scramble. That is the key for field goal block. Okay, so let's talk about how to properly run mid blitz and solo battles. At every given point in the game, the computer is going to start audibling into plays that will not work against our normal methods. That means coming out of field goal block and switching over to punt safe man. As you can see here, I am trying and trying, hoping I get lucky, but the computer is just beating me to death with what they're doing. They're running verts, but they're running them in a way that I can't cover them anymore. So once you get to this point in the game, you're going to want to stop running punt safe man and switch over to nickel mid blitz. So you're going to want to pick a playbook that has that formation in it so you can run mid blitz. Now, a lot of you are running mid blitz, but you're getting beat because you're running it incorrectly. So I'm going to show you guys the proper way to do it. The first thing you're going to want to do is substitute your fastest linebacker for this guy here. For me, it's Patrick Willis. So this is going to be Pat Tillman, and this is Patrick Willis. He is not only my best linebacker at this point, but he's also my fastest. The next thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm pressing my corners and bringing my safeties down to the line of scrimmage. And you'll see here, I'm going to get the sack. Now, I know what some of you guys are saying, but DG, I do that and I get beat. Well, the reason you're getting beat is because you're coming out in a 2-4-5 in nickel blitz. Don't come out in nickel blitz. It's very similar to what we do on offense when we're running, and we come out in the pass play first, but then we switch to the run play. You have to confuse the computer. If the computer knows you're running mid blitz, it's going to pick the best play to defeat that. So you need to come out in a zone play first. So cover 2 or cover 3, a non-zone blitzy scheme. So I'm going to pick cover 2 here. And then once you get on the field, you're going to want to audible to mid blitz. So let's watch. So I pick cover 2. I'm going to audible to mid blitz right now. You see my corner is now coming over to play man on this receiver, and I'm going to go ahead and press those corners and bring my safeties down. Even that guy's uncovered, we're still getting Patrick Willis coming off of that edge, and it's fairly quick. Like I said, you're going to want to come out in a different play, cover 2 or some sort, then switch over to nickel mid blitz, press your corner, bring your safeties down, and you should get your sack like you're seeing here. That is the basis of mid blitz. Don't come out in it, audible to it. Come out in something where the computer only thinks you're rushing 4 or 3 and then send the house like you see here. So let's talk about fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is super simple. You're going to go ahead and pick up all of those yards that you didn't pick up before the game started. If you can get them done before fourth, by all means do that. You shouldn't have any timeouts left here. If you do, go ahead and spin them, because once you get the ball back on offense, you can go ahead and stop the clock, which is a major key point. And if you're winning, the computer is going to throw anyway, so you shouldn't have to worry about the clock stopping. Just go ahead and make them drop the ball like you see here, or go ahead and sack them and get the turnover. The key to fourth quarter is being precise about what you're trying to do. If you need passing yards, go ahead and pick up those passing yards. If you need first downs, go ahead and run. I'm going to tell you to run instead of pass in fourth if you need first downs, because you can stop the clock a lot easier than if you're passing. If you're passing, you have to find a way to get out of bounds, or you can be unlucky and you can spend more time than you want. I normally like to run instead, because I know I can run out of bounds if needed. So here you'll see Dion catches the pick. I'm gonna go ahead and run backwards and get out of bounds. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to check my stats and see where I am. I know I need 8 first downs and I'm about 100 yards away from rushing and about 100 yards away from passing. So I'm in a tight spot here, mainly because I need 200 yards in this half, and I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to pick them up. So I'm gonna try to split them between passing and rushing and still get my first downs. So basically here, what we're gonna do is the same plays over and over and over again, get our first downs and then get our rushing yards later on. So let's go over the goals one more time. Your goals are 400 yards passing, 40 first downs, 4 passing touchdowns, 200 to 250 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. You want to get 40 first downs, and you want to have somewhere, and this is what I didn't mention yet, you want to have about 40 completions. Completions are a big part of your points as well. Many 2-point conversions as possible. Now, the very last thing you're going to want to do here is kick a 50-yard field goal. The 50-yard field goal I feel like has been bumping me up the most, and I try to knock that out as much as possible. I don't believe I got it in this game, but you want to try to get a 50-yard field goal if you can. Defensive touchdown helps as well, just not as much as other things on defense, like just getting picks, but you will max out on picks. If you get like 20 picks, you're not going to continue to get points. They kind of just kill you after that. But you want to get a defensive touchdown. It won't give you a ton of points, but it does count. And really, that is it for solo battles. I'll show you guys what I have at the end of this game, and we can see how many points it yields me. So these are my stats for the game. You'll see that I have about 400 yards passing, 169 yards rushing, 37 first downs, and we held the computer to 106 yards total offense, no rushing yards. They were all passing, and they only had 4 first downs. So we fell short of our goals, which were 450 yards passing, 200 to 250 yards rushing, 40 first downs, and 75 yards of total offense for defense. Let's go see how many completions we had. Lamar Jackson had 39 attempts when we normally try to get 40 to 50 attempts, but he did have a 92% completion, and we hit our 4 touchdown mark for passing TDs. So we got 16 points out of that game. So just think, if we would have just went ahead and got those few extra yards, those few first downs, we probably would have broke that 26K mark. And that is really your goal. That's really it, guys. That is how you break down solo battles. Those are your benchmarks. So I hope this video is informative to you. I hope that you guys can use what I've shown you and it's helpful. I know that the last time we did solo battles, it's just a lot to take in. There's a lot of information, and you guys really need to practice outside of solo battles before you try to run that 4 verts or before you try to run that field goal block. That will be my biggest suggestion to you all. I'm sorry that my video cut off and my camera died, but as always, it's been your boy Gigi the Chef. It's been love. It's always love, and we out. And guys, that's it. It's your boy Gigi the Chef. It's been love. It's always love. I hope this video helps you guys out. It has been extremely fun to do for you guys. And as always, we're trying to build that no money spent community. But it's your boy, and I'm out of here.